Hello everyone and welcome to another Challenger Misfortune analysis, and this analysis is also a viewer game analysis, and we are looking at MVP Garden, who is a Korean Challenger AD carry main, and he is currently, well, in this game he is playing Misfortune on his Grandmaster Smurf account. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see that. He requested a challenger or an analysis of his recently, and since he's a channel member, he is obviously entitled to get that. And the lane is Misfortune Nautilus against Vayne and Lux. So the way this lane goes is, well, Lux wants to, she only really can deal damage in all-in fights. She needs at least 3 autos to be effective. And Misfortune can do a good job poking. Lux outranges though with her spells and also pokes, and Nautilus needs all-ins. So if Nautilus, who's a tank support, gets poked down low enough, red team really cannot do much. But if Nautilus lands a good all-in, then Misfortune might be able to follow up on that. So this is the red team's win condition here, and now they're backing off because they couldn't push fast enough for the level 2. So that's a smart play, because when the enemy has level 2 and you have level 1, they obviously have more spells and more stats, and they can kill you quite quickly. Alright, his build, by the way, is the standard press the attack page that everybody is using right now. And yeah, that's what I mean. He got caught on the Lux binding and lost like 70% of his health. Still has potions though. But yeah, the rune page is the press the attack with the magical footwear. I did not call it fleet footwork. With the magical footwear and the biscuit delivery. So the standard page, and the build path is Blade of the Ruined King first, into full lethality after. So, well, in this situation, you obviously need to farm your minions under tower, but at the same time, you need to be careful not to get caught by Lux bindings. Yeah, it's a kind of tricky situation, especially since you don't have enough AD to last it that reliably on level 1 or level 3 for that matter. As you saw, Misfortune was not able to get all of the minions. But that's a very aggressive flash into... Oh my goodness, yeah, that one. Pretty much everything that could go wrong here went wrong. Nautilus first of all hooked a minion, and then he got flashed on by the Xin Zhao and died. And now Misfortune could actually get dove, which doesn't happen due to very smart positioning from MVP Garden. Yeah, because what happens to me all the time is I stay in the tower, I think I can outplay the dive, and then I get flashed on, CC'd, and I just die. So yeah, very nice play retreating back here. This is something you can definitely implement into your own games. Just the step back here to not die, because when you die you lose the minions anyway, and the only reason to stay in the tower is to be able to get the minions. So instead of dying and losing the minions, you might as well only lose the minion gold, stay in minion range, or in experience range of the minions, and not gift the enemy a kill on top of that. So yeah, very nice play here. I probably would have died in that situation, simply out of frustration, out of greed. But yeah, you need to control your emotions. Looking at farm, Misfortune is down 3 CS, which is not as much considering she was pushed in all the time and couldn't last it under tower properly without any additional attack damage. And yeah, double longsword plus refillable potion plus control ward against the Vampiric Scepter. So Vayne now has a source of sustain, but at the end it doesn't really matter too much in this lane, because it's not a poke lane really. Nautilus wants to all in, and Misfortune just needs to follow up on that. And poking, well, Misfortune can poke with Coup to some extent, but if you go Blade of the Ruined King first, you don't really get those early serrated Dirks that make the Coup poke worth it. Also, this build is obviously a W max build with the... Yeah, that was rough. With the Blade of the Ruined King. And typically you also would play Overheal with this build, but MVP Garden kind of messed up and took Triumph instead. Which is... a little bit sad, because the way that works is, well, as you know, Strut gives you not out of combat movement speed, it's just movement speed. It gives you movement speed when you have not been damaged. God, I've been talking for so much today. It gives you additional movement speed if you haven't taken damage in a while. And when you then do take damage, that movement speed goes away. However, if you are protected by a shield, such as Overheal, ooh, that might be rough. It's still 3v2. Misfortune decides to farm minions here, which is fine, I suppose. I'm never really sure what to do in that situation as Misfortune. Whether I should join my team, let the minions die under tower, or whether I should farm the minions and get the gold there. In that situation, I guess farming minions was fine because it was still a 2 versus 3 in red team's favor. But it's definitely a tricky situation. Okay, I think I've been talking about W, right? Oh, that's not a good dive. No. Bane stuns. Yeah, no, please. I don't think that's worth it. Getting a Triumph proc though. And now you should definitely retreat. Super low HP, you don't know where the Xinjiao is. He might be right around the corner. Okay, he isn't. However, you don't have vision here. Oh yeah, that's Lux, okay. Alright, please just go to your tower. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about W again. So the way this works is you lose the movement speed upon taking damage, which excludes damage over time for some reason. But if you have a shield and the damage gets absorbed by the shield completely, then you will stay in your strat passive. You will have the movement speed despite being hit because it's absorbed by a shield. It pretty much works like recalling, right? When you recall, you channel, and your channel gets interrupted as soon as you get attacked. But if when you're recalling and you have a Janna shield on top of you, for example, and and an incoming hit gets absorbed by the shield, your recall will not get cancelled. That was a very nice Q, by the way. And I think Misfortune's W is coded in a very similar way, because the same thing also applies. If you well, are shielded, you can still run around with 450 movement speed and even take a hit when the shield's big enough to absorb it. Right, but yeah, Triumph is also fine-ish, I guess. Well, to be fair, it's, in my opinion, it's way worse than Overheal, but it's still an okay rune, generally speaking. Overheal on Misfortune is just way too good to not take it. Yeah, that's greedy, by the way. They don't have vision in the tri-bush, don't know where the Xinjiao is. And fortunately, Misfortune goes back here. Bilgewater plus double dagger. 0 and 3, that means boots come at around the 10-minute mark, maybe a little bit earlier. So the quick maths, yeah, it should be at 9 minutes and 45 seconds. So yeah, as soon as Misfortune gets a free item slot, she gets boots. That's something to keep in mind. Maybe a reason to place the control ward aggressively, just so you get your boots early, or as early as possible for that matter. Alright. Let's see what they're up to. Maybe you should even, if you plan on making a play here, right? If you plan on making that play, maybe you should just place your control ward so you have the extra movement speed from the boots in that very fight. But we'll see. I don't think that this is good though, because it's very hard to ult here. Yeah, Vayne just tumbles out of it. And Lux immediately focuses down on Misfortune. And that's probably not ending well. Oh, what a... What a play with the heal, that was crazy, dude. And Triumph actually saving you. Wow. Yo, had he had overheal, he definitely would have died there. Wow, that was crazy. But here we finally get the punish. You don't know where the Xin is. Don't have vision in the tri-bush, and I get it. I always die for the same reasons. I want to push in the wave, so I deny farm. I deny the enemy AD carry's farm. But when you do this, the jungler is nearby. He just picks you up and or picks you off, and you die. Ah, frustrating. But yeah, pretty much even items. Blade the Ruined King on both AD carries, plus slightly magical boots. And, well, but because Misfortune died, they cannot contest this Mountain Drake whatsoever. They just need to give it away. There's no way this ends well. Yeah, it's gone. Meanwhile, though, this works out for Red Team, then that's fine, I think. They couldn't contest the Mountain Drake anyway, and if they get a Rift Herald out of the deal, that's more than worth it. Or more than they could hope for. Oh, that was close. Okay. Oh, that's exactly what you don't want. Vayne being the better duelist, immediately going on the Misfortune, forces out the flash, and now she just needs to flash as well, yeah. What was that? These Koreans are so crazy. I did not see that one coming. Oh, but Misfortune dies here. Sure. Yeah, that was too deep. The Valkos out of nowhere. You see he's missing though, so technically speaking you should see this coming, but hey, cannot pay attention to everything. But yeah, that play here was crazy. First of all, Vayne had a massive advantage because she's the better duelist and initiated on the Misfortune with her ulti. But they tried to dive and Nautilus just had stopwatch for the Lux ulti, which was absolutely crazy. And Jace is getting pretty fed here with the platings. Still needs to be careful. Vel'Koz is playing that super annoying Glacial Augment freeze build, right? Right, back to laning. But yeah, in a situation like this, it obviously sucks to not have overheal. Pretty much wasting your life steal stat when you're full health. I'm pretty sure Karthus is spotted. It's gotta be a ward in here, right? Yeah, they know. You see it from their body language. They don't walk up, they even retreat when Karthus comes, and yeah, they have the ward here. But now Jace is coming, and now they might be able to dive this quite effective. Okay, well, Lux just wave clears with her ulti, so there's that, right? This still might be a good dive with the Vel'Koz though. Oh, that's why I hate Hecarim. And no kiting in the world gets you away there. Even without the Vel'Koz, I think Hecarim would have run her down. Hecarim and Xin Zhao are two very, very bad matchups for Misfortune. You cannot ult either of them because Hecarim just runs out of it, and Xin Zhao blocks all the damage with his ulti. And they both can just dive you. Under towers, under your teammates. Generally speaking, a very bad matchup. So, I have a question for you, MVP Garden. Well, you're not a Misfortune one-trick. You play pretty much all the AD carries. But you chose to pick Misfortune in this very match against Hecarim and Xin Zhao. Is there any tech you want to share with us, or what is the reasoning behind it? Maybe you just felt like playing Misfortune, which is fine. I definitely would have picked Misfortune into that comp as well, because I always pick Misfortune. But yeah, what do you think about the pick, considering team comps? I'm very curious about your comment. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, let's see what you answer. Next dragon is Ocean, so... Oh yeah. God, I hate Hecarim so much. But he even gets away, right? He even gets away with that. It's so ridiculous. Oh, okay. He doesn't. Having Karthus feels nice. Yeah, that's what I mean. Xin Zhao, he runs into 4 people. He dies for it, but he will kill the Misfortune. He will kill her. It's kind of frustrating to deal with. But now having taken mid tower, red team can take the dragon without too much counterplay from blue team. Obviously it also helps that the jungler is down, but... On the other hand, the Ocean Drake outside of lane phase is not really worth that much. The Mountain Drake is much stronger, creating Baron pressure, and Baron will come up in 3 minutes. As far as itemization is concerned, skill order... Ooh, you're actually maxing Q with this, okay. Or maxing Q and W alongside each other. Which is fine, I think, especially if you don't have overheal, maxing Q could be viable. W max gives you so many relevant stats though, with the Blade of the Ruined King. Well, obviously without overheal you lose the mobility stat in combat, but oh well, yeah, Qmax is fine. I think I'm hating on Qmax way too often. It's not as bad as I make it look. Obviously I'm playing Qmax Misfortune when I play the Kleptomancy build. Ooh. Oh no, don't face... No, 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 no! Alright, yeah, he's still dead now. You saw the problem there? Lux flashed the wall, right? If I saw that correctly. Or if I heard that correctly. So it looks like you catch the Lux, but she flashes and she's out of there. There's no way you can get her, and this, yeah, this just face checking and losing half health. Bane kills 1, 1.5. And Xin Zhao finishes off the Misfortune. This will end very badly for red team, especially they don't have AD carry anymore. And they don't have the safety net of the tower here. Yeah. Oh well, happens. I guess you got greedy and tried to get the Lux, despite seeing no one on the map. Yeah, Vayne just immediately half-healthed the Misfortune. And then she was out of position as well, because she was essentially frontlining this, and Xin Zhao was way too close. Oh well, happens. Baron spawns in 1 minute though, so if that happens the next time, the punish will be even bigger. Oh, this tower is so dead. Remember Heimerdinger's old passive? When you could just sit under your tower and regenerate it? I miss those days, man. I actually was a Heimerdinger main in before season 1. I mained Heimerdinger. Because it was so unique, and I was a edgy high school kid that wanted to be unique, right? And yeah, Baron is spawning now, so both teams should try to establish vision around it. And red team has a ward here, but this ward is expiring very soon, and blue team has a Mountain Drake, so you need to be very careful with that Baron. Hecarim does Hecarim things, huh? So now 2 people bot lane. That's risky. Grâce getting caught again. Yeah, Misfortune cannot stay here. Hecarim can dive her. And also, you're pretty much doing nothing here. Your team might die. Actually, red team wins for some reason. Even without the AD carry. Okay, but I think macro-wise, what do you think, MVP Garden? Do you think, or can you explain this play macro-wise? Because in my opinion, it would have been better to just join your team top lane, and afterwards push in mid lane, and then maybe rotate bot or rotate towards Baron and establish vision around Baron. And I guess it's pretty risky to just let your team fight on its own, because without the AD carry, the chance that you just lose the fight is pretty high. Yeah, also here you could have helped, definitely. You have everything up, you have your ulti, you have your... Do you have your heal? Can't really see it from the icon here. But yeah. I think your team needed you. Oh, you do have heal. Also, we see a somewhat early Executioner's Calling, which is interesting. I think Executioner's Calling should be bought more often. I think the item is criminally underrated. There's so much healing in the game right now. And even in this team, there's no champ where you would immediately think, oh yeah, I need Executioners. There's no Dr. Mundo or Vladimir or Maokai or whatever. But Hecarim has Triumph and Conqueror at the very least. And Xin Zhao has healing in his kit, and also Vayne has a Blade of the Ruined King, so I actually like the Executioner's Calling here. And Hecarim and Xin Zhao are definitely the biggest problems for Misfortune in this team comp. So itemizing against them will pay off, I think. Maybe you should even consider a Guardian Angel as your 4th item. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, after Dustblade or whatever you're building, you could build a Guardian Angel before finishing Mortar Reminder. Maybe that helps with the Hecarim and the Xin Zhao. Because from my experience, Xin Zhao and Hecarim can just run you down and you can do nothing about it. All you can do is you can hope that your team is nearby, can peel for you, and Guardian Angel Revive gives your team more time to react, obviously. Yeah, this is now very risky. Blue team has double mountain and you have 0 vision around the Baron area. Yeah, they're already doing it. That was actually quite close. If I can get the Vayne here. Nice. Oh, and Hecarim does Hecarim things, right? Not focusing the Misfortune though. So she's free to just kite him down. Yeah, that was nice kiting. And also the Jace lived, which is a big deal. Nautilus though. But all in all, I think, even if you get this tower here, I guess red team is still pretty far behind. Behind in kills, and Baron gave the enemy team another 1,500 gold. Plus, they still have 3 members with Baron buff. So that's going to be rough. I mean, if you look at this, it's pretty much impossible to hold these tier 2s now. Because what will happen is the lane will be pushed in, the minions will be under the tower, and then you get minion crash dove, So the way this works is the tower is focusing minions, so the enemy team has all the time in the world to prepare their dive. They can loop around, they can crash the tower from behind, and also this is very risky. Yeah, you should just let them fall. That's what I mean, they didn't even need to loop around, they just got caught out under their towers. There's no way you can hold tier 2s, it's way, way too risky. Also, it's quite tilting to die on the tower like that, so that's also something you don't want to experience. Now it's 4v5, and it's much harder to defend the inhibitor tower. But they need to do it, they need to try to defend this. Karthus respawns in 10 seconds, so maybe they are... yeah, they might be able to defend it. Also, there's a hacker in bot lane. What is the Karthus doing? There's no reason to go there. That's pure greed. If he goes top lane, they lose another fight, I'm pretty sure. Minions are on the tower. Karthus is top. Yeah. Without Karthus wave clear, without Karthus poke, they couldn't hold the tower, and now they use inhibitor for this. What is... This is Grandmaster Korea. What is the Karthus doing? That's legitimately trolling. I mean... Maybe he is tilted because he got dove under tier 2. Maybe that's exactly what happened, who knows. Okay, does not look like he's inting. Maybe it was an honest mistake. And he thought it was a good idea to farm this wave in Grandmaster Korean solo queue. And I guess that's triple mountain for blue team. Red team simply does not have the pressure right now to challenge that. Was close. Karthus almost died again. I would have not been surprised if that happened and he went AFK afterwards. Alright, nice. So what happened here is, this was a 4v2 essentially, right? Yeah, Hecarim and Xin Zhao get caught out. This is 4v2. Miss Fortune should try to join this, right? But she runs the opposite way. And tries to duel the Vel'Koz. Losing her heal. Fair enough. I mean... Red team still got a 2-for-1. Karthus for Vayne and Hecarim. But yeah, Miss Fortune should have joined her team here. Dustblade, of the Ruined King. And I guess the best item right now would be Guardian Angel. It's always nice to finish the Mortal Reminder or the last Whisper item. MDeal always says you need to get it 3rd item latest. Your last Whisper upgrade. And this would be 4th item, so this would be even later than MDeal is recommending. But I think you really need Guardian Angel against the Hecarim and the Xin Zhao. How much gold do you have? 700. Yeah. So you can always save up to 1120, sell your Doran's Blade and get a BF Sword, and go from there. This might be good. Vel'Koz Flash. Still I wouldn't overextend. It's not worth the risk. Baron is also spawning again, which does spell trouble for red team, because with Triple Mountain... we all know where that ends. And blue team looks very greedy. Already starting it. If red team can do something against that, that might be very big. But I don't think Misfortune is in the... yeah. He cannot ulti here because of Xin Zhao ulti. Would block all the damage. Yeah, that ulti hit nothing. Hecarim just ran past it. Nuttall is dead, now it's a 4v5 again. Ooh, that might be big. Lux down. Misfortune needs to focus on the Vayne. But she, yeah, gets killed by those three. Whoops. But yeah, that's what I mean. What can you do as Misfortune against Hecarim plus Xin Zhao? It's very tough to deal with. Luckily, blue team does not have Baron here, because else this would be the game, I think. It might still be game. Well, on the other hand, the minion wave is quite big. The red minion wave. Just spawned. Okay. So red team only lost both base towers and the inhibitor respawns. So this is actually quite a... and Baron is up. This is the opportunity to do something, to turn the game around. Let's see if they take it. Oh, and Misfortune with the greedy motor reminder finish. I mean, it's a lot of damage, but against Hecarim Xin Zhao, I think Guardian Angel would be more useful. Okay, Vayne is almost dead. Yo, this might be the throw. Nice, Lux is down. That Karthus ulti. Xin Zhao should die as well. That's his GA, and he should go down, yeah. Right, this is if you can take Baron now and then Infernal Drake, then... oh no, Hecarim. Ah, he's dead though. He cannot 1v3 that. Yeah, that's Baron plus Infernal for red team. That's actually pretty huge. The Rise ulti. Okay, now I think he's working towards Guardian Angel. So yeah, obviously good item choice, but I think earlier would be better in this game. What a goofy interaction between the Vayne E and the wall. Jumping over it and getting pushed mid-air. MF still needs 1,000 more gold for Guardian Angel though. Oh god, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I need some sleep. Well, the most important part is staying grouped. And also getting backdoored is a possibility. Ooh, we actually see the Hecarim in that, yeah. Yeah, red team might get scared and recall. Oh, Hecarim's going for it. How is that fair? An AD carry with 5.5 items just gets hard abused by the enemy top laner. Hecarim is so unfun to play against as Misfortune. When he decides to run you down, you can do nothing about it. Not a single thing. That might actually be the game now. 5 versus 3. Well, red team still has Baron minions to defend with. So it could be worse, I guess. But yeah, that's just brutal. I mean, maybe if you build Ninja Tabby, well, I always build very defensively against champs like that. Ninja Tabby plus Black Cleaver, Phantom Dancer and whatnot. Yeah, that's just not fair. It wasn't even out of position, like, Misfortune was next to her Karthus, and Hecarim just came outside of their jungle. While they were trying to stop him backdooring. Oh well. Misfortune still needs more gold for Guardian Angel. And now she needs to join her team first and foremost. The spicy Rise ult. Ooh, that hurts. Yeah, Misfortune cannot ulti this. It's not going to work. Hecarim can run around it. Autos though. Autos were nice, but the ult was pointless, as you can see. $250 more gold for Guardian Angel. Ooh, nice flash. You're still dead though. I mean, it's always the same. And yeah, just being forced to run into the enemy jungle to escape, you might as well be dead here. You cannot help your team. They're being outnumbered. NMF still dies, oh my god. Yeah, that's brutal. That's probably the end of the game. Surprisingly long game though for Korean solo queue. Let's finish. Alright, alright. All in all, very tough team comp. Hecarim plus Xin Zhao, yeah, that's pretty rough. Oh well. I hope you enjoyed this, I hope you learned something, and if you... that infinite tunnel here. And if you want to see another Misfortune Challenger analysis, you can find one on the screen right now. And yeah, feel free to click on that. And I hope I see you in tomorrow's upload. And also, I'm very excited to look at the comments to see what MVP Garden says about this. Alright, yeah, have a nice day.